Ava, thank you so much for having me over today. It was nice seeing your new place. Good evening, Olivia. I honestly never imagined that in the first meeting with my brother's girlfriend, I would be showing off my new house, and to top it off, you'd be here too. I thought it was just going to be a casual thing, but look at this. Well, I'm glad I came. I was actually looking forward to meeting Nathan's sister too. You know, the whole first-time meeting thing. It happens to everyone, right? There's no reason to make a big deal out of it. That's not quite what I meant, but whatever. By the way, though, I was thinking, you're still single, aren't you? At 30 years old? Yes, I'm still single. Is there something wrong with that? Well, it's just, I find it a bit strange. You're 30, you're single, and you bought a house? I mean, you have the money to buy a house, but for some reason you still can't seem to find a partner? You just gave up on marriage altogether? That kind of feels a little sad to me, don't you think? I don't really think being 30 and single is all that uncommon these days, though. But still, you bought a house as a single person. I mean, that's kind of unfair, don't you think? Unfair? Yeah, I can definitely smell something strange going on here. I just feel like someone more suitable should be the one living in that house, not someone who's single. Someone more suitable? Yeah, someone like me, of course. Nathan and I will get married and then we'll move into that house. What? You know, the house you bought? It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property, right? And it's near the station with a lovely garden. I mean, that's amazing, but honestly, it's just way too big to live in by yourself. It would be such a waste, right? So Nathan and I are planning to get married and we'll move in together. I'll be the one living there. You should just hand over the keys to me when the time comes. Oh, and don't worry about giving me a spare key, okay? I'll be living there, so I don't need one from you. I'm going to have to decline. What? Honestly, I didn't want to bring this up because it's so sudden, but the truth is, yes, I'm single, but I do have a fiancé. I won't be living there alone. Wait, what? The deed to the house is actually in both my name and my fiancé's name, so it's not just mine to decide what happens with. Oh, really? Ava, didn't you just earlier talk about how a single woman who couldn't get married ends up buying a house alone? And now you're saying you actually have a fiancé? That's a little hard to believe, don't you think? If you're going to lie, at least make it a little more believable. Honestly, I'm not buying it. You were pretty spot on with your assumptions, but it's clear that this part is just a fabrication. Don't twist what I said into something it wasn't. You're just making up a story now. Is that so? Well, even if it wasn't exactly what you said, I guess I wasn't that far off, was I? I think you should focus on packing your stuff instead of making excuses for yourself. I don't need to pack right now. Actually, this timing couldn't be better. The lease on my current apartment is up for renewal, so it's the perfect moment to move in. It's almost like fate. I didn't say you could just move in there. Oh wait, don't forget, Nathan still needs to propose to me. This conversation is completely going off track.
Ava, are you okay?
Huh? Oh, Martin, is there something wrong?
You seemed a little down today. You've been on such a high lately, ever since you bought the house you always dreamed of. It's been nothing but good vibes from you, and you were even bouncing off the walls for the past few days. But today, from the moment you arrived at work, you looked a little off. Even while you were working, you had this gloomy expression on your face. It was really noticeable.
Oh, really? Was I making that face?
Yeah, you definitely were. Honestly, I thought about coming over and asking if you were okay during work, but then I got caught up with a sudden urgent client matter, so I couldn't get the chance.
Sorry for worrying you. I guess I just had to focus on work today. I didn't mean to seem off, but there's a lot on my mind.
No, it's fine. It's just that I didn't see any mistakes in your work, so I wasn't really worried about that. But hey, I did hear you had your family over to see the new house yesterday. How did that go? Was everything okay?
Yeah, that's right. I invited my family over for the housewarming just to show them the new place. But for some reason my brother's girlfriend showed up as well, and I wasn't expecting her.
Wait, Nathan's girlfriend?
Yeah, and when I asked Nathan about it, he told me that she works with him. Apparently she's been asking him out for a while, even though he kept turning her down. Finally, he gave in and agreed to date her, and yesterday was their 6th day of dating. But it was my first time meeting her, and let's just say it didn't go as smoothly as I'd hoped. Honestly, I felt like I was talking to someone from another planet. It was like I was having a conversation with an alien, or at least that's what it felt like.
What happened exactly?
Well, she really seemed to like the house, a little too much, in fact. She kept saying, "I'll marry you and live here with you."
Wait, what?
I know, right? It made no sense, but that's exactly what she said, and she was so serious about it, too. She's like, "I think the house would be happier if I lived here." She was completely convinced that I shouldn't be living there, and she was determined to make it her place instead.
But why? What was her reasoning?
Apparently, in her mind, the only reason a 30-year-old woman would buy a house and still be single is that she's given up on marriage. She said that women in her situation, like me, are the ones who buy houses alone because they've accepted that they'll never get married. She said things like, "The house would be better off with me in it." Even when I tried to tell her I was engaged, she wouldn't believe me. She was absolutely certain that she was the one meant to live there, and she had already started making plans to move in. It was like she didn't hear anything I was saying. I hadn't even given her a key, but I was seriously worried that she'd just show up and try to move in without any permission or anything.
And Nathan? What'd he say?
Well, that's the problem. Nathan was sick at the time, and he was bedridden, so I didn't get the chance to talk to him about it. He had no idea what was going on. I couldn't even really explain it to him properly because he was too out of it.
I see. That's rough. I really wish I could have been there for the housewarming, but I ended up having to work overtime. I feel bad about it now. I would have liked to meet her and maybe have a word with her.
I understand. Work comes first. I know how it is. I just wasn't expecting things to go that way. I didn't expect it to escalate this much.
Well, you know what? From now on, I'm coming over, and I'll be staying with you. I'll make it clear that I'm your fiancé, and I'll make sure she knows that this house is not for her. I'll stand my ground and say, I'm here with my fiancé, and no one is taking over. If she's really that insistent, I'll make it crystal clear that she's not gonna get away with it.
What? You're really going to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. If she thinks she can just waltz in and take over, she's got another think coming. I'm not gonna let her try and take your house away. This is my fiancé's house, not yours. Well, jokes aside, though, I do think it might be helpful if I show up and make it clear I'm the actual fiancé. I'm gonna move in next month, and maybe that'll convince her to back off. If I show up in person, she might realize this isn't just some made-up story, and she might back down. At least I hope so.
That's actually a good idea. You're right, it might make a difference if you show up in person. She might back down once she realizes it's not some fake relationship.
How about this? I'll come over tomorrow after work. I know you're buried in overtime until the weekend, so I'll go first and help get things settled. How does that sound? I'll go ahead and take care of things until you can catch up.
That would be a huge help. If you don't mind, could you go ahead? I'd really appreciate it.
Got it. Consider it done. I'll be over there to make sure everything is okay. Ava! She's here!
What?
She's already moved in!
What? How did she get in without the keys?
I didn't have time to ask how she did it, but when I showed up, she tried to run off. I caught her, and honestly, I didn't know what else to do, so I ended up calling the police. I had to hand her over to them.
Oh my God, I didn't expect it to escalate this much.
Yeah, I didn't want it to get that far, but she was being so persistent. The police came without sirens, so there were no curious onlookers, but I still talked to the neighbors across the street and next door just to make sure they weren't confused about what was going on.
Thank you for doing all that. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's gonna be my place too, so I wanted to make sure things went smoothly. But hey, Nathan's sick, and you should probably fill him in on everything as soon as possible. He might not believe what's been happening, but it's better if he hears it from you directly.
Yeah, I know. I'll talk to him about it soon. Thanks again for stepping in. That was awful. What was that? I was just watching TV in my new house when this tough-looking old guy barged in and yelled, "Gola!" at me. they called the police. I ended up being dragged away in a police car. It was seriously the worst. You're the one who was trespassing, so what are you even saying? Don't forget that your parents had to beg and apologize so that you wouldn't be charged, okay? What the? I just thought I was the one most deserving to live in that new house, that's all. And that's exactly what you can't do. I heard you were sent back to your parents' house in the countryside after that. I tried to get Nathan to come help, but he refused. What was I supposed to do? By the way, who is that tough guy? He said his name was Martin? Martin is my fiancé, actually. What? He's also a senior at my workplace. That day I had to stay late, so I gave him the key and asked him to go ahead and head home. It turns out he showed up at the house and found you there, having just barged in. Wait, you're really engaged? For real? Martin, good morning.
Good morning, Ava.
Thanks again for handling Olivia's trespassing situation the other day.
You don't need to keep thanking me, Ava. I've already gotten the message loud and clear, so there's no need for more.
Yeah, well, actually I got a message from Olivia last night.
Wait, really? How does she still have the nerve to contact you? Is her skin made of steel or something?
Maybe. She didn't seem like she was reflecting on her actions at all.
Unbelievable. That's wild. And speaking of which, I still can't get over the first impression she left on me.
Right? She was just sitting there on the couch in the living room with boxes of stuff piled up at the entrance like she had moved in, as if she had every right to be there.
Oh, yeah. I remember. She was watching TV, holding a can of beer, and eating chicken, laughing like it was her home. It was like she thought she'd already won the place.
Maybe she thought she was celebrating with a little victory party since I finally got the house. Honestly, I couldn't care less at that point.
I was speechless when I saw the window leading to the garden all smashed up.
Yeah, me too. The idea that she thought it was fine to break the glass just to get in because she didn't have a key was chilling. I'm going to have to send her the bill for that glass replacement later on.
By the way, what did you do with all of her stuff? I noticed there were about 10 boxes sitting at the front door.
Oh, that. I asked my brother about it. He managed to get the address of her parents' house, and they told me I could send everything back by cash on delivery. So I shipped it all out the other day.
I heard she was sent back to her parents' place in the countryside, too.
Yeah, apparently her apartment here, where she was living alone, was already conveniently canceled. She had already gone ahead and filled out the paperwork as if she were moving into our new home. So it looks like she had no choice but to go back to her family house.
I guess she tried to turn to Nathan for support, but he turned her down too, huh?
Exactly. It seems like she thought she could rely on him, but he wasn't having any of it either. She's got nothing left to hold on to now. Why am I being asked for alimony? This doesn't make any sense. Didn't you get the message to go through a lawyer? But it doesn't make sense. The message about how you completely misunderstood and bashed me? What's that about? Huh? You spread lies about me on social media. You posted, "My boyfriend's sister is so desperate because she can't get married, so she bought a house instead. What a joke. LOL." You see, Nathan and I are twins. We've been in the same school from kindergarten through high school, so a lot of our local friends overlap. Because of that post, your friends who learned about your social media from Nathan thought that I had broken up with my fiancé, Martin. What? That's what happened because of that? Yes, and it caused a whole mess. There was even an ex of mine, someone I broke up with because he cheated, who started demanding I get back together. He even stalked me and waited for me at the nearest station. What? Luckily, Martin stepped in right away and explained the situation. He made sure to set things straight and intimidated him enough to get him to leave, so it was handled quickly. Oh, that scary-looking guy? Yeah, all of this has been causing a lot of trouble for the past few weeks. The alimony claim I'm making is because of that. Wait, you can really ask for alimony over something like that? You'd be surprised. It's clear you still haven't learned from this. But I could also file a criminal report if you want. Wait, no, please, I'll pay the alimony and I'll reflect on it. Then stop contacting me. It's extremely annoying. Oh, why is this happening? What's going to happen to me now? I was told by people around me that I should file a police report, but in the end, it was decided that I wouldn't do so. This decision didn't come easily, as the circumstances surrounding the situation were complex and involved many hidden layers, most of which I only learned about later. The turning point came when I had a conversation with Olivia's parents, and they revealed some of the behind-the-scenes details that I wasn't aware of. To my shock, I discovered that Olivia had been engaged to someone chosen by her parents. This wasn't a normal, voluntary engagement that Olivia had willingly agreed to, but an arranged one, designed according to her parents' wishes. And the more I learned about the situation, the more I realized how much Olivia detested it. Apparently, Olivia had absolutely no desire to marry this man. She found the engagement repulsive, and she despised everything about it. She felt trapped, suffocated by her parents' decisions, which seemed to control every aspect of her life. Unable to bear the thought of being stuck in an arranged marriage she didn't want, Olivia decided to take drastic action. She left home and came to the city, almost as if running away, seeking some form of freedom from the pressure she'd been living under. Her departure from home was not just a simple move, it was more like an escape. She had been pushed to the brink, and this was her way of trying to break free from the expectations and control her parents had over her. It was as if she was trying to carve out a space for herself, away from the demands that had been placed on her. But while Olivia thought she had gained some freedom, her parents were having none of it. They were insistent that she should return and honor the engagement, even though she had no desire to do so. In fact, Olivia's parents were concerned about the way her rebellious behavior could reflect poorly on their family, particularly in the eyes of society. They didn't want to see their daughter's character tarnished, especially before she got married. They felt that if Olivia went against their wishes, it would somehow stain her reputation before she even stepped into her role as a wife. Their focus wasn't on Olivia's happiness or well-being, but on maintaining a certain image for their family. In their eyes, a marriage arranged in this way, regardless of Olivia's personal feelings, was the best course of action for both her and them. So, to make sure she adhered to their plans, Olivia's parents took measures to ensure that she would never return to me or my family. They presented us with a document, a formal agreement, that explicitly stated that Olivia and her family would cut ties with us and that Olivia would never again approach me or anyone related to me. In exchange for this, they promised a settlement. It wasn't just any settlement, it was a sum of money significantly higher than what one would expect in these kinds of cases. A sum that was meant to compensate for the inconvenience and emotional toll the whole situation had caused. It was an offer that seemed, at least on the surface, to bring closure to the matter. They were trying to buy peace, offering this hefty amount of compensation in exchange for cutting all ties with Olivia. The settlement was designed to silence any further attempts at contact, and Olivia's parents made it clear that they wanted to ensure that their daughter's future would go ahead as planned, no matter the cost. Despite the money and legal agreements, I couldn't shake the feeling that this was a hollow resolution. It felt like a situation where Olivia's freedom and happiness had been sacrificed in exchange for a smooth, quiet life for her parents. This was not the resolution I had hoped for. I couldn't help but feel sorry for Olivia, whose life had been decided for her in ways that she never consented to. However, the story doesn't end there. A few days later, I stumbled upon some additional information that painted an even darker picture of Olivia's situation. I learned, almost by chance, that the man she was engaged to wasn't who he appeared to be. In fact, he was deeply in debt, far more than anyone had originally suspected. His financial situation was a mess, and it seemed that his only interest in marrying Olivia was to gain access to someone who could earn money and help him pay off his mounting debts. The more I heard about this man, the more disturbed I became. It wasn't just that Olivia's parents had chosen him for her, it was the fact that he was financially irresponsible and had taken on massive debts, which had apparently led to his search for a young woman who could provide some kind of financial support. Olivia, unfortunately, seemed to be caught in a situation where her parents had thought they were protecting her, but in reality, they were making a decision that would only entrench her further into a life she didn't want. I can't even begin to imagine what kind of life Olivia was walking into, considering the financial instability of her future husband. It was clear that this wasn't a partnership based on love or mutual respect. It was a transaction, one that revolved around money and power, not emotions or personal desires. The worst part was that Olivia had no say in this arrangement. Her voice had been drowned out by the choices made for her by her parents and her fiancé. Even worse, as I learned more about the situation, it became evident that Olivia was likely being pushed into work that she hadn't chosen for herself. I don't want to speculate too much, but given the circumstances and the kind of person her fiancé appeared to be, It was hard not to think that Olivia might be forced into doing things she wasn't comfortable with. Thought of it was chilling, and I could only hope that she wasn't subjugated to any kind of exploitation or mistreatment. All of this made me question the extent to which Olivia's parents were truly acting in her best interests. Were they really trying to protect her, or were they simply looking out for themselves, ensuring that their daughter would fulfill a role that they had already decided for her? The more I thought about it, the more I realized how deeply ingrained these patterns of control and manipulation were in her life. In the end, I couldn't help but feel sympathy for Olivia. She had been caught in a web of expectations, debt, and obligations, and her own desires had been silenced by the pressure of those around her. It wasn't just about the arranged marriage, it was about the lack of agency she had in her own life. Everything had been decided for her, and she had been pushed into a future she never asked for. I couldn't change her situation, though. All I could do was hope that someday Olivia would find the strength to break free from these constraints, to reclaim her life and her voice. Until then, it seemed like her path was set, and there was nothing more I could do to help her. But deep down, I wanted to believe that she could find a way out, that she could escape the life that had been forced on her and create her own future on her own terms. If only she could see that there was more to life than following the path others had laid out for her. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next video. Hey Samuel, I just got home, and why are all my things packed up in a box? I didn't hear anything about moving. I was in the hospital due to a high-risk pregnancy. Can you explain what's going on?
Chiara, you're the only one moving out.
Wait, what do you mean? Why am I the only one moving?
I decided to keep the apartment for my girlfriend.
Your girlfriend? What are you talking about?
Her name is Caddy, and she's 19 years old.
19? Are you serious? So while I was in the hospital, you were having sleepovers with someone else? She stayed over and now she wants to live here? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. She loved the view from this high-rise tower apartment so much after spending time here that she said she wanted to live here.
Wait a minute, you've already arranged for a moving company? When are they coming?
Yeah, I set it up. They should be here soon.
So let me get this straight. You've brought your girlfriend into our home? That is unbelievable.
Hey, don't interrupt me while I'm talking.
You don't get to tell me to be quiet when I'm hearing something I can't just ignore. This is a huge deal for us as a couple.
Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm living here with my girlfriend now. You need to leave immediately. Until you move out, I'm gonna stay in a business hotel.
So this means you're planning to divorce me?
Yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. So please, just go ahead and file for divorce.
You think it's that simple? I am pregnant with your child. I just got out of the hospital after a serious health scare, and you're telling me that you've been cheating on me and now you want me to move out? What is this?
That's not like I wanted to hurt you, but I'd rather live with Caddy than with you. So just hurry up and get out. If you don't leave, Caddy won't be able to move in.
You see me as just a problem to be solved? You think I'm just in the way of your happiness?
Yes, that's right. You're just an obstacle standing in the way of our love.
All right. I see how it is. The obstacle will be out of your way then.
Wait, you're actually agreeing to this?
What do you think I'm supposed to do? You want me to stick around while you're making plans for your new life with someone else?
About the divorce papers, what are you gonna do?
From the sounds of it, you haven't even prepared them. Is that right?
Oh, well, just write your name on them and leave them in the mailbox. I'll fill out my part and submit them to the office. I also need to pick up the marriage certificate with Caddy.
I see. Sounds like you've thought all this through. The movers are here, I guess?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I should let Caddy know right away.
Just so you know, I'm not going to be the one who's left without consequences. You're about to find out just how serious this all is.
Caddy! Starting tomorrow, my wife is officially moving out so we can finally live together in the tower apartment.
Oh, really? Oh, that's amazing!
I made sure to clear out my wife's room completely so it's all ready for you.
Thank you so much. I asked for that room and you made it happen so quickly.
Do you want me to help you with your packing?
No, that's okay. I'm in the final stages of getting everything sorted. Actually, I might have already canceled my lease on my current apartment, so I'm fully committed to moving.
Wow, that's really fast.
I just can't wait to move into your tower apartment.
Oh, Caddy, you really care about me that much?
Of course, I'm really looking forward to it. I'll show up bright and early tomorrow morning to surprise you.
Sounds great. I guess that means I should take a day off work so I could be there to welcome you.
Wow, you're really going to take a day off just for me? Oh, that's so sweet. Once I arrive, we can have some fun in that amazing room with the stunning view. I can't wait to cuddle up with you there.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see you. I'm really excited about you moving in and all the time we'll get to spend together.
I've been dreaming about this day. The thought of living together, waking up next to you every morning, it's just so perfect.
And I promise to make sure you have everything you need to feel at home. I want you to love living here as much as I do.
I'm sure I will. Just being with you makes me feel so happy. I can already picture us decorating the place together, filling it with our memories.
Exactly. We can create our own little world. Plus, I think the view from the apartment will be a perfect backdrop for our new life together.
Yes, I can't wait to see that view every day. It's going to be our special place.
I'll be counting down the hours until you arrive. It feels like a dream come true.
Me too. Tomorrow's going to be the start of something amazing for us.
I'm so ready for this new chapter in our lives. See you in the morning.
See you soon. I'm counting down the minutes.
You know, living with the person you love and being able to be affectionate all the time is just the best. I've been using up all my remaining paid leave from work just to spend time with Caddy and enjoy being together.
Samuel, you've been off work for 2 whole weeks now.
Well, I properly requested the time off, so what's the big deal?
I suppose that's true, but you know, I was just about to reach out to you.
Oh, what's up?
Have you submitted the divorce papers I sent you? You know, the ones you were supposed to file with the office?
Wait, what?
You remember the letter I included with the divorce papers? It said, please let me know once you've submitted them to the office.
Oh, right, I forgot about that.
What do you mean, you haven't submitted them yet?
I got so caught up in being affectionate with Caddy that I completely lost track of it.
What kind of ridiculous excuse is that? Seriously.
Actually, since Caddy moved into the tower apartment, I haven't even stepped outside once. I've been too busy enjoying my time with her.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. After all that pushing to get it done, you've really let it slip your mind? It's just unbelievable.
Well, just come by and pick it up then.
What? You want me to come over right now?
Yeah, I really don't want to be apart from Caddy for even a second right now.
You know, I just got out of the hospital after being in for a high-risk pregnancy, right? You can't just expect me to handle all this. I'm already overwhelmed with the stress from your cheating and the divorce. Now you want me to deal with moving on top of that? Please, don't add any more stress to my plate.
What's the matter? Are you not going to come get it? Because if you don't, you won't be able to get divorced. Are you okay with that?
That's not something you should be saying. You are seriously out of your mind.
So are you coming to get the papers or not?
Oh, wait a second. It doesn't have to be me who picks them up, does it?
I guess it doesn't have to be you.
In that case, there's someone perfect who can go there soon. You can just give the papers to them.
Oh, really? That sounds good. And I just got a message from Caddy asking for our 3rd round of affection today, so I have to go.
Wow, it's like you're completely obsessed. I can't even process how you've turned into this person.
What can I say? It's just been so nice spending time with her that I'm kind of in a daze right now. It's hard to focus on anything else. Hey, Chiara, what's this about alimony and child support? You're seriously asking for alimony from Caddy, too?
You've heard all about it from your lawyer, haven't you?
No matter how much I hear, I can't accept it. I know you're jealous of the love that Caddy and I share, but this is just pathetic.
Oh, come on. The common understanding is that the person who cheated has to pay alimony to the person who was cheated on. And it's also completely reasonable for child support to be paid when a divorce occurs. That's just how it works.
Caddy and I are genuinely in love. At this point, you're the one who's become my cheating partner, so if anyone should be paying alimony, it should be you.
Just so you know, the lawyer is still here.
Yeah, I know. He just went to the restroom and is currently texting me.
Listen, you two seem to be living in some kind of fantasy world, completely unaware of your current situation. I've actually asked the lawyer to explain everything to you in detail until you finally understand.
What?
You're eager to marry your beloved Katie, right? Then you need to settle your responsibilities properly for betraying me. Get this sorted out cleanly and quickly.
But I never thought it would cost this much to get a divorce.
It's ridiculous that you're whining about something that is completely normal when getting divorced.
What do you mean by that?
I'm saying you need to take responsibility for your actions without making a fuss. It's really not that hard to understand.
All I want is to marry Caddy.
You need to accept the reality that you're trying to throw away something that is much more significant than just me.
What do you mean?
What you're trying to throw away isn't just me. You're also trying to abandon our child who is about to be born. That's the lowest thing a father can do, and you should never forget that.
I didn't mean to.
You need to face the truth. Being a father means taking responsibility for your actions, even if it's hard. You're choosing to prioritize your relationship with Katie over your own child and me. That's an awful decision.
But I thought we could figure something out.
Figuring something out means facing the consequences of your actions. You can't just run away from your responsibilities because you've found someone new. It doesn't work that way.
It's just so complicated.
Life is complicated, but that doesn't excuse abandoning your responsibilities. I want you to think deeply about what you're doing. Once you're a parent, your priorities change. You need to understand the weight of your decisions.
I know, but...
No buts. Just think about what it means to be a father and to be a decent human being. Your actions have consequences, and it's time to face them. I've transferred the alimony and child support. You don't need to keep contacting me about it. I've been informed through my lawyer.
Damn it! I ended up borrowing money from my parents because of this.
Your parents told me they apologized for you. They even took money from their hard-earned retirement savings to help you out. On top of that, they had to cover the costs for your cheating partner as well. You better make sure you pay them back.
Well, it's not like I have no means to pay them back, so I guess it's fine. I just thought it would be difficult to gather the money by the payment deadline, so I had no choice but to take out a loan temporarily.
Oh, is that so?
I'm planning to talk to Caddy about this, but I think I'm going to put the tower apartment up for sale.
Wait, what?
Even though it's a used property, the higher floors of the tower should fetch a decent price. If all goes well, I might be able to pay off the debt and even have some left over.
Have you lost your mind?
What do you mean?
That apartment is a rental, you know.
Huh? They have rentals in a tower like that?
Of course they do. Why do you think you've been living there all this time?
I thought you could only buy apartments in a tower. I assumed you bought it, and that since we got married, it would automatically belong to me as your husband.
How could you have such mistaken belief?
Wait, what? Why did I think that?
You always act on your baseless assumptions and unreliable instincts. Anyway, it's a rental. Plus, it's in my name.
What?
You moved into the apartment I was living in before we got married. That means you don't have any right to sell it, and since we're getting a divorce, you can't live there anymore either.
Wait!
Well, you could continue living there if you change the lease into your name.
But by the way, how much is the rent?
It's $5,200 a month.
5,200? That's almost 3 times my monthly income. There's no way I can afford that.
You haven't forgotten that I run a business with my best friend, right? Sure, I'm on maternity leave right now, but I have enough income to cover the rent on my own.
Wait, what? You had a baby?
I should mention that I successfully gave birth 3 days ago.
Oh.
But don't think you'll have any visitation rights. Once the child grows up, don't try to get involved in their life.
Hey, Chiara, we should really reconsider this divorce.
What?
You're leaving me without a place to live.
Well, I canceled the lease on that apartment.
What? Why would you do that? We're not officially divorced yet. You can't just make that decision.
Actually, we are divorced. I intended to submit the divorce papers as soon as I confirmed the transfer of alimony and child support. Now that I have confirmation, my mom went to the office on my behalf to submit the divorce papers.
You just did that?
Yes, I just got the notification that our divorce was finalized about 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago?
So as of now, we are no longer together. There's still a month before the move-out date for the tower apartment, but you have no right to stay there now that we're no longer a couple. You have to leave within 3 days.
What? How can you say that?
I've already explained the situation to the management company. If you don't vacate the premises within 3 days, they will call the police.
The police?
If you understand, then please hurry up and leave.
What am I supposed to tell Caddy?
That's not my problem.
Damn it! Caddy, I can't believe you're just gone when I woke up this morning. That note about breaking up was just a joke, right?
Shut up, you old man!
Wait, what?
I was so excited to finally be living in the tower apartment, but then I find out it's actually in your ex-wife's name. And on top of that, your income is only a third of hers because you're just a temp. How can you not even know that as her husband? Your head is way too empty.
Caddy, you sound like a completely different person.
This is just who I am, after all. You're broke, and you have no place to live, and you don't have enough brains to deal with anything, you loser. I've got nothing to gain from a middle-aged guy who's got absolutely nothing going for him. Just for a brief moment, you should feel grateful that you had any relationship with a young and cute 19-year-old like me. Anyway, see you.
You're not getting away from me. There's no way I'm letting you escape.
Although he sometimes seemed a bit lacking in intelligence, there was something endearing about that. There was indeed a time when I had such thoughts about my ex-husband. I would find myself chuckling at his antics, believing that his innocent blunders added a certain charm to our relationship. At that moment, it was easy to overlook his shortcomings, focusing instead on the warmth he brought to my life. This must be what they call the love filter. It's terrifying to realize how love can distort our perceptions, blinding us to the flaws that ultimately become unbearable. Speaking of terrifying, the aftermath of our relationship unfolded like a nightmare. Just as it is often said that the end of financial support leads to the end of relationships. Samuel was unceremoniously dumped by Katie when the money ran out. It was a classic case of when the well runs dry, so does the love. However, what transpired next was beyond anyone's imagination. Simultaneously with his departure from their luxury apartment, he managed to morph into a stalker. The verbal abuse he unleashed during their breakup was so severe that, ironically, it seemed to ignite a twisted passion in his heart for Katie. It was as if those hateful words fueled his obsession rather than scaring him off. The cruelty of their parting left scars on both of them, but for Samuel, it seemed to morph into an unhealthy fixation on what he had lost. No matter how hard Katie tried to escape from him, Samuel would somehow appear out of nowhere like a ghost from her past. Sometimes he would look at her with a resentful gaze filled with an unspoken bitterness and anger. Other times he would show up with a creepy, overly cheerful grin that sent chills down her spine. His demeanor almost unsettlingly enthusiastic in the midst of his desperation. It was a jarring contrast, making Katie question his mental state even further. Even Katie, who had always been resilient and strong-willed, appeared to be significantly affected by the situation. The relentless nature of Samuel's pursuit seemed to take a toll on her mental state. It was like watching someone being slowly worn down by the relentless waves of an unyielding sea. The pressure just kept building, and she seemed to be reaching her breaking point. The psychological warfare he waged was exhausting, leaving her in a constant state of anxiety. Currently, it seems that both of them are undergoing treatment in separate hospitals, far from one another. It's as if they're each battling their own demons in isolation, perhaps trying to escape the tangled mess of their shared history. There's a cruel irony in their situation, as both are dealing with the consequences of their choices, but in vastly different ways. Each hospital room tells a story of regret, pain, and the desperate search for redemption. In retrospect, the relationship had always been a roller coaster ride. From the beginning, it was marked by highs and lows, laughter and tears. At first glance, they appeared to be the perfect couple, dazzling in their shared experiences and affection. They traveled to exotic locations, shared romantic dinners, and painted a picture of bliss that everyone envied. Yet, as the initial allure faded, the cracks began to show. Samuel's behavior shifted from charming to possessive, and Katie found herself walking on eggshells, unsure of what would set him off. Initially, their shared life in the luxury high-rise was filled with dreams and aspirations. They hosted lavish parties, inviting friends and acquaintances to showcase their successful life. However, the glamour began to dim as financial strains became apparent. Samuel's job was not as stable as he had portrayed, and Katie's once thriving career faced unforeseen setbacks. The glitzy lifestyle they had created began to slip through their fingers like sand, and the cracks in their relationship widened. As the money began to dwindle, so too did the affection between them. It was as if the wealth had acted as a glue, holding their relationship together, and when that glue began to weaken, the underlying issues bubbled to the surface. The tension escalated, culminating in an explosive arguments that would leave them both feeling empty and drained. Each argument chipped away at the foundation of their love, and resentment began to fester. The final straw came one fateful evening. They had been out to dinner, and the conversation took a turn for the worse. What started as a casual discussion about finances quickly escalated into a full-blown shouting match. Harsh words were exchanged, and amidst the chaos, Samuel hurled insults at Katie that were not only cruel but deeply personal. The wounds inflicted during that fight were deep, and they resonated long after the dust had settled. In that moment, something in her snapped. Katie had always been a fierce and independent woman, but in that heated moment, she realized she could no longer endure the emotional torment. She left the restaurant in tears, her heart heavy with the weight of the relationship's demise. Samuel, in his rage, did not follow her immediately, but instead sat there, simmering in his anger, allowing the reality of their situation to sink in. As days turned into weeks, Katie tried to move on. She packed her belongings and found a new place to live, far away from the memories of their life together. Yet no matter how hard she tried, Samuel's shadow loomed over her. He would call, text, and occasionally show up at her new apartment, each time with an increasingly desperate demeanor. The emotional turbulence of their breakup manifested in Samuel's behavior, and it was clear that he was spiraling out of control. For Katie, the freedom she had longed for became a prison of fear. Every noise in the night sent her heart racing, and the once comfortable sanctuary of her new home felt like a trap. The moments she had once enjoyed alone now felt suffocating, and the weight of her past loomed over her like a dark cloud. She had wanted to be free, but the very person she had tried to escape was now haunting her thoughts, turning her world upside down. The cycle of harassment escalated. Samuel's visits became more erratic. Sometimes he would appear with gifts, trying to win her back with grand gestures that only seemed more pathetic. "Look at what I brought you," he would exclaim, holding out an extravagant bouquet of flowers or a fancy dinner reservation, desperately attempting to rekindle the flames of their past. Other times, he would confront her with accusations and fear, his eyes wide with desperation. It was a terrifying juxtaposition, and Katie felt trapped in a horror movie with no way to escape. Katie soon realized that she needed to take drastic measures to protect herself. After consulting with friends and family, she made the difficult decision to seek a restraining order against him. It was a painful step, but it was necessary for her safety. She gathered her strength and recounted her experiences to the authorities, feeling both empowered and terrified. Each recounting of the harassment brought back waves of trauma, but she knew it was a necessary step in reclaiming her life. However, even with the restraining order in place, the fear lingered like a dark shadow. Samuel, feeling cornered and rejected, became more unpredictable. His obsession intensified, and Katie often found herself looking over her shoulder, anxious at every unfamiliar sound. She invested in security measures, installing cameras and an alarm system, but nothing could fully alleviate the sense of dread that followed her. The situation took an even darker turn when she learned that Samuel had been stalking her online. He would create false profiles on social media to follow her, keeping tabs on her every move. It felt like he was invading her life even more, and she was powerless to stop it. Each new alert on her phone sent her heart racing, a reminder that she could never truly escape him. The digital age had made it easier for him to stalk her from the shadows, further complicating her ability to find solace. Eventually, both of them reached a breaking point. The emotional turmoil and the weight of their past began to manifest physically. Katie found herself struggling with anxiety and insomnia, while Samuel's mental health deteriorated to the point where he was hospitalized. The news of his hospitalization reached Katie through mutual friends, a bittersweet piece of information that left her with mixed feelings and nothing more.
Hey, Sienna, today was Kimmy's university graduation ceremony, wasn't it?
Yes, it should be over by now, I think. She mentioned she'd be going out for a karaoke party with her friends to celebrate, so she'll be back late.
I see. You're staying home, right?
Well, for now, yes, I'm at home.
Anyway, I'll be coming home early today. There's something important I need to talk to you about, so make sure you're there.
What is this all about?
I'll explain it in person when I get there. I also have something to give you.
All right, I understand. Mom, sorry for the late update. The graduation ceremony went smoothly, and I just arrived at a karaoke place with my university friends. Good job, Kimmy. What time do you think you'll be back? Let's see. We booked the karaoke for a 2-hour session, but we might extend it, so I'd say it'll definitely be after 9 p.m. Do you need me to pick you up? Are you sure you know the way back? No worries. A friend who knows our situation is heading in the same direction, so we decided to share a taxi. As long as I give the driver the address, it'll be fine. Besides, you're busy tonight, aren't you? I can handle myself, so don't worry about me and focus on your stuff. All right, I got it, thanks. By the way, how's everything going on your end? Well, you know, your dad called and said he has something to discuss when he gets back. I mean, I have a good idea of what it's about, but it's just such a hassle. Oh, yeah, I get that. But hey, maybe it's a good thing. Saves you the trouble in a way, right? True. I'll try to look at it positively. Anyway, take care on your way home. Will do!
Sienna? Don't you dare let your anger get the best of you and tear up that document I just gave you.
The divorce papers, you mean? The ones with your name already neatly filled in? So what's the deal? You come home, shove the divorce papers at me, and walk right back out without saying a word. Weren't you going to explain this to me in person?
I decided to convey it through a message instead. Here it is, I'm saying it now.
All right. I got the gist from the divorce papers, but what is it you want to say?
Divorce me, please. Just set me free.
Set you free? What exactly do you mean by that?
Kimmy is graduating from university today, right? And after the ceremony, she's heading straight to the apartment where she'll be living on her own, isn't she?
That's correct. And?
Kimmy becoming an independent adult means that my duties as a parent are complete. Now that she's moving out, there's nothing left for me to do, is there?
Well, I wouldn't say there's nothing left, but I'll agree it marks a major milestone.
Exactly. But when I thought about what comes next, working day in and day out just to support you as you grow older and frankly become an old hag, I couldn't help but feel this overwhelming sense of emptiness about my future.
You do realize you're getting older too, right?
This isn't about me. Look, I'll be blunt. The idea of spending the rest of my life alone with you, just the two of us, makes me feel completely deflated. I've had enough. I want to be free. I want to be released from all these obligations as a parent and a husband. In other words, Kimmy is moving out so you can stop being a mother too. Just disappear from my life already.
Oh, really? Well, whether or not I stop being a mother is my decision to make, not yours.
That's exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about. I'm telling you, I've lost all interest in you. I don't care about an old hag who's completely useless to me.
Oh, I see. This must be about that cute young coworker you mentioned at your job. Well, feel free to get all excited about her, but let me tell you, it's definitely a delusion. You're just making a fool of yourself, and you should consider both her feelings and your age before getting carried away.
I'm not saying I'm planning to do anything with her.
Really?
Just divorce me already and get out!
All right. Honestly, I've been thinking about divorcing you for a long time now because of these exact behaviors of yours.
Wait, what?
Oh, and by the way, the moving company will be here in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes? What do you mean 5 minutes?
Well, while we've been having this little chat, I got a notification from the movers saying they're almost here. It's late, so there's a surcharge for the nighttime service, but they were willing to accommodate my request. I wanted to get this over with as soon as possible, so I scheduled it for tonight.
Wait, what?
Thanks for everything up until now.
Hold on, are you saying you've already packed up and prepared to move out?
Oh, and thanks for the divorce papers, too. You saved me the trouble of having to prepare them myself. I'll drop them off at the city office's night reception desk before the end of the day.
Wait a second!
Oh, one more thing. This is important.
What is it?
This house is set to be demolished.
What? What are you talking about? You didn't even consult me about this? How can the owner decide something like that without my approval?
Excuse me? What are you even saying? The landlord is my brother, remember?
Wait, what?
Do I need to remind you? For the past 20 years, my brother let us rent this place at a ridiculously low rate. It was sitting vacant while his family was overseas for an extended period. He figured it would be better for someone to live in it than let it go to waste.
Oh, right.
Now that my brother's family's wrapping up their time abroad and coming back to the U.S., they've decided to rebuild the house. It's old and in poor condition, so it's time to tear it down. The rental agreement ends at the end of next month.
What the hell?
Anyway, the movers are here now. Bye.
Wait, what's going on? What am I supposed to do now?
Mom, the karaoke competition is over, so I'm about to hop in a taxi and head to my new place. All right, well, be careful on your way. By the way, during karaoke, Dad kept calling me over and over. The number of missed calls was insane. You didn't pick up? I was too busy singing to even notice. Oh, and he sent a text message at the end. He was like, "Your mom left. She's going to divorce me. Help me." Oh my. The nerve of him, especially after handing me the divorce papers himself. Unbelievable. Anyway, I did leave him on red and didn't reply. Good call. Oh, just so you know, the divorce papers have already been submitted to the night reception desk at City Hall. Got it! All right, I'm going to start unpacking the basics. You've already finished moving all your stuff? Yes, I tried to minimize my belongings, and since it's only a 20-minute drive from the old house, it didn't take long. Gotcha. Well, I'll see you later then. All right, be safe.
Hey, Sienna, why haven't you come over yet?
Oh, it's been 2 months. What do you want?
I gave you my new address, didn't I?
Oh, that. You mean the random address you sent me about a month ago? Honestly, I wasn't sure what you were trying to achieve with that. So what exactly was the point?
Why haven't you come to do the housework?
Excuse me? Housework? Who's doing whose housework here?
Who else? You're supposed to do my housework, of course. Housework is a woman's job. My mom's in a nursing home, so there's no one else but you to handle it.
Are you even listening to yourself right now?
Unbelievable. You really don't get it, do you? We were married for 23 years. Even though I had to constantly criticize you for your incompetence, you still managed somehow. And now, just because we're divorced, you've suddenly forgotten everything? I'll retrain you if I have to. Starting tomorrow, I expect you here every day.
Wow. Are you feeling okay, like mentally?
What?
Asking your ex-wife, an entirely unrelated person now, to come do housework for your home? Do you hear how ridiculous that sounds?
What are you talking about?
And retrain me? Oh, that's one of the most disrespectful things I've ever heard. Let me remind you, when we were married, despite us both working full-time jobs, you dumped all the housework and childcare on me while you sat back and criticized everything I did. You were the textbook definition of all talk, no action. And you think you were in any position to critique me?
Who are you calling useless? I told you before, housework is a woman's job.
Well, even if that's your twisted belief, you don't go asking a stranger to do your housework, do you?
But you're not a stranger. You were my wife.
Was your wife, past tense. Now I'm your ex-wife, which makes me just another person in the world. If a stranger is going to do housework for you, it's usually because they're a professional housekeeper or part of a cleaning service. That's literally their job. And let me make this crystal clear, I am neither your housekeeper nor your servant. I have no obligation or intention to do anything for you.
Fine. If that's the way it's gonna be, I'll just ask Kimmy instead. As her father, I'll tell her it's part of her training to be a proper wife someday. She'll jump at the opportunity, thinking it's a good life lesson.
Yeah, good luck with that. I wouldn't get my hopes up if I were you.
Kimmy, I have a favor to ask.
No.
Ah! Wait, hold on. I haven't even finished saying anything yet.
I'm guessing it's something like, as my daughter, you should come over and help me with housework, right? But that's impossible.
Why is that?
Well, since Mom isn't here anymore, the only person who can do the housework is me, your daughter. But it's your responsibility. Why don't you just take care of it yourself?
No, housework is a woman's job. It's simple, really.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that? Are you really saying that housework is only for women?
Listen, one day you'll get married, and when you do, you don't want your husband to think you can't even handle basic housework, right? That's why you need to learn it now. It's your responsibility, and you should take it seriously.
I already know how to do it just fine. You don't have to tell me what to do.
Oh, really? If that's the case, then starting tomorrow, I expect you to come over and handle the housework. That shouldn't be a problem, right?
I'm saying no. Do you even remember that I'm an adult now and have my own life to take care of?
It's not that big of a deal. You could just swing by after work, do a bit of cleaning, prepare a meal for me. The apartment I'm living in now is just one bedroom and the dining room and kitchen, so it's smaller and easier to clean. Plus, cooking for just me won't take that long, and it's not nearly as difficult as when we lived in a big house before.
If you think it's so easy, then why don't you do it yourself?
Well, that's because I don't have time for it. And besides, it's not as easy as you think.
And yet you think I should just drop everything and help you? It's physically impossible.
Physically impossible? What do you mean by that?
The thing is, the company's new employee training is almost over, and I've been assigned to a branch office in a completely different region. So I'm going to be moving far away soon.
Wait, didn't you just start living alone in that apartment near your work?
That was only temporary. The company provided it for me as an accommodation during my training period. But now that my placement's been finalized, I'll be moving to a different city.
So, you're moving even farther away now?
Yes, that's right. And just so you know, I'm bringing Mom with me too.
What? Why are you taking Mom with you?
Well, Mom's job is working as a handmade artist, which means she can work from home. And since she's single now, she doesn't have to worry about finding a place to live, so it's easy for her to move. Plus, she doesn't mind at all.
I don't get it. Why does she have to go with you?
The main reason is that I don't want to be bothered by Dad asking me to get remarried or pressuring me to take care of him. It's easier to just take Mom along with me. That way I won't have to deal with any of his nonsense.
Wait a minute. No, that's not what I was saying.
Oh, so I'm right, huh?
No, that's not what I meant.
Anyway, we've made up our minds. We're not going to take care of you anymore. We've had enough of you, especially since you don't even appreciate the value of having someone to help with the housework. Neither Mom nor I will lift a finger for you anymore.
Kimmy! But at least, could you please help me out and clean up my place a bit? I don't even know how to take out the trash, and the place is such a mess that you can't even see the floor anymore.
Maybe you should just drown in your own pigsty forever. Goodbye. It seems that my ex-husband's deeply ingrained belief that housework is a woman's job hasn't changed at all, even after our divorce. From what I've heard from a colleague of my ex-husband, someone I personally know well, it seems he's become quite unbearable. Apparently he's developed an odor that's hard to ignore. Whether it's because he hasn't been doing his laundry or if it's just his natural body odor due to aging, the result is the same. When you get too close to him, the stench is overwhelming. He apparently smells terrible, and it's gotten so bad that even his coworkers have started to notice. But that's not even the worst of it. It seems that he approached a young and beautiful female employee at his office with an inappropriate proposal. He tried to get her to become his housekeeper, thinking that she would take on the household responsibilities he was too lazy to manage. He persistently tried to pursue her, and this situation escalated into a huge issue at the company. The story that was shared with me went something like this. When his supervisor addressed the issue, my ex-husband's response was to blame his inability to keep his house in order on the fact that there was no one to do the laundry and no one to take out the trash. His supervisor, a man himself, was apparently taken aback by my ex-husband's comments. He looked at him with a stunned expression and said, "Why don't you do it yourself?" This reaction seemed to leave my ex-husband dumbfounded. He couldn't comprehend why anyone would think he was capable of doing these things himself. But the truth is, he never had to do them while we were married because he always expected me to take care of everything. As the situation at his job continued to unravel, it became apparent that my ex-husband's inability to adapt and learn how to take care of himself was becoming a serious problem, both at work and in his personal life. He had a long history of neglecting his responsibilities, and now this same neglect was affecting his professional reputation. His behavior, combined with a series of repeated mistakes, led to him being demoted and having his salary reduced. Word has started to spread that my ex-husband is now facing a recommendation for retirement, or, at the very least, a forced resignation. I have no idea how true those rumors are, but if they are, I can't say I'm too surprised. This is a man who has never truly grown up or taken responsibility for his actions. Instead of taking the initiative to learn new skills or adapt to his circumstances, he's always preferred to live in a fantasy where women, like myself, would just take care of everything for him. His inability to change or even to acknowledge that he has to take responsibility for his own life has led him to this point. I can't help but think that this is the outcome he deserves, though part of me is also slightly amused by how he's handling it. He seems so completely unaware of the reality of his situation. For someone who always wanted to appear as if he had everything under control, it's rather amusing to see him fail in such spectacular fashion. The man who used to criticize me for not doing enough in our marriage is now being confronted with the consequences of his actions, and it's clear he has no idea how to fix it. The whole situation has caused me to reflect on just how much he took me, and others, for granted during our marriage. His sense of entitlement, particularly towards household chores, was beyond belief. It wasn't just about laundry or cooking, it was about his expectation that I should shoulder all of the responsibilities that came with managing our home, without any real recognition of the hard work that went into it. He would always say that housework was a woman's job, as though that somehow justified his complete refusal to lift a finger. And even after everything that happened between us, he still seems to think this attitude is acceptable. But now, in his new predicament, he has no choice but to face the consequences of his outdated thinking. He's made mistakes at work, alienated people around him, and lost the respect of his peers, all because of his refusal to change. The reality he's been living in has finally caught up to him, and he's unable to adapt. He's so entrenched in his way of thinking that he doesn't even realize how ridiculous he looks to others. For someone who used to insist that he was right about everything, this is a significant blow to his ego. In some ways, it almost feels like poetic justice. He's always viewed himself as superior to those around him, especially me, simply because of his gender. Yet now he's the one facing ridicule and personal failure, while I'm moving on with my life. It's strange, though, because even though I've been through a lot because of him, I don't feel any sympathy for him now. If anything, I find myself feeling a sense of relief that I'm no longer involved in his mess. But what really gets to me is the fact that he still hasn't learned anything. His entire world seems to revolve around his own comfort, and he expects others to do the work for him. He never realized that in order to function in the world, you have to be self-sufficient. He's always depended on others to take care of him, whether it was his mother, his wife, or now some unsuspecting woman at his office. And when that support is pulled away, he has no idea how to cope. What's even more shocking is that even after all of this, he still can't understand why people are upset with him. His sense of entitlement has not waned. He hasn't stopped thinking that it's someone else's job to clean up his mess. This is the same man who for years would criticize me for the smallest things while never once lifting a finger to help. Now that he's on his own, he's unable to take care of the most basic tasks, and that's what led to the collapse of his career. As for me, I've moved on from all of this. I have no intention of helping him, nor do I feel any need to. I've been through enough, and he has made it clear that he is incapable of change. He's going to have to deal with the fallout on his own, and I won't be there to pick up the pieces. In the end, it's hard to feel sorry for someone who never took responsibility for their own actions. He had a chance to make things right, but he chose not to, and now he faces the consequences. I can only watch from the sidelines. It's his problem now, not mine, and I plan to keep it that way.
Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.